to Not So Funny Podcast.
We're back at it again.
Yeah, episode 002. I'm Christopher Keith Tyler.
I'm Amy Quirk.
Nice to meet you again. We're happy to be here.
Very excited today.
Yeah, things are coming together. Recently we just did a staycation. And a staycation is good for mental health, especially for couples.
So vacation and then you stay at home.
Yeah, it's save money and do DoorDash or we did. Yeah,
be that person on the couch
just be lazy.
And just order DoorDash.
Just melt, have fun. We went wine tasting.
We went wine tasting. That was fun. I mean, we live near wineries.
And there were fires after we left. We didn't partake in any of that, but there were fires.
We didn't start the fires.
We just went home. People were upset. There was fires going on in the wineries. It was really hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We pretty much stayed at home. Well, we did a few things. We
watched Godfather.
We watched Godfather 1 and 2.
Yeah. No.
Because 3, we all know. 3. If you guys have seen Godfather, if you haven't, who are you?
It was a closure. I've never experienced Godfather, so you have to devote like a whole day to Godfather, and so we watched Godfather Part 1 and 2.
Fun.
I was more into like Goodfellas. Godfather is good. It's a good movie. It's nice and relaxing. And you don't agree? You think Godfather's just the best for mafia?
Thing is, because Godfather is kind of like, they really set the standard for mafia movies. So, was it like even that's not really like, I was going to say Tombstone. But Goodfellas is kind of, Godfather was the godfather of godfathers of movies, right? Mafia movies. And then you have Goodfellas, which is one of my favorites also. And then you have...
there's Casino, Scarface.
Way after. Scarface was I think after Godfather.
Right.
Yeah.
But Godfather, I was watching and I'm like, it's just a warm, good, it's good. I see why people like it. It's very authentic and it was cool, but I don't know. I like watching that escalation of a character's development and just everything falls apart. It's just a disaster, and it's just it's an experience. Yeah,
the planes.
Yeah. I gotta make sauce. So we watched Godfather 1 and 2, and
that was fun.
And we just caught up on our movie queue and piece things together, and it's good for bonding. And we want to have a staycation or a vacation every season, 1 week every season, instead of...
That's very healthy, I think.
Yeah, instead of waiting all year for this 1 week to go to Disneyland or whatever.
Because at that time I felt like I was gonna blow up. And I was kind of snappy toward the end of the beginning of our staycation. I don't know. I was going to lose my shit. Not taking breaks and everything. It's just not healthy for the mind or the body. So.
And it's nice to not have to have plans at all. We get up in the morning, we're like, what do you want to do?
I don't know. What do you want to do?
Nothing.
Don't start that again.
So staycations, I support that. It's nice to indulge yourself in movies and read a book. Just go for a walk.
We did
don't have to spend a bunch of money. But so we did that, and
we went to Disneyland.
Yeah, we went to Disneyland. Our passes are almost up.
Yeah, we're Dream Key pass holders, which has been really, really fun, and we've experienced a lot of Disneyland and when they put on their shows and the seasons of Disneyland. If you go to Disneyland, we have Christmas season, Halloween season, and then Chinese New Year, and then wine festival. We went to the wine festival at 1 year. That was our anniversary.
Yeah. And we stayed. But Disney, a Dream Key, if you don't know, it's you can go any day. With our schedule, we could only go on Saturdays, so we'd go when it was busy, and we'd get the Genie Plus to get on the rides. But we figured out different ways to get into Disneyland. Instead of just going and standing in line, you could go over and in downtown Disney and jump on the monorail and get in and drop off.
That was so quick.
Yeah.
And it was if anyone knows, going to Disneyland sometimes in certain areas where you have to check they check your bag, it is like
Takes forever.
a pain in the ass. There's huge lines, but there's other ways to go to avoid such lines.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we thought that was the best, and then we went again, and we found that you can park in like a different parking area that doesn't
Toy
have
Story
a
area.
Yeah, and you just jump on a bus, and you're in the park. Like it was so fast. Yeah.
Super easy.
So we're like,
I
oh,
love
there's
it.
different options. So Disney can take our money. Like I see where it's going.
Here.
Yeah.
Yeah, and their shows are fantastic, and oh my God, I mean, to think that, yeah, Disneyland's expensive. Have you been to Magic Mountain?
That's rough.
It's rough. There's no water. None of the vending machines worked. It's about 115 degrees there, and people are laying on the ground because they're thirsty. Like, it sucks. It was horrible. I mean, like you had said, like they put a lot of the money into the rides, the engineering.
Yeah.
Which
all the money goes right into the engineering, but if you want water, well, you're just gonna have to fast.
Yeah.
Yeah,
die.
That's the fast pass, is just fasting and standing in line for 3 hours for a 20-second ride.
3 hours.
Yeah.
3 hours for the rides. It was so annoying.
Yeah,
burnt and thirsty.
There was a lady that was just laying on the ground, and we thought she was, like, our 13-year-old, he thought that the park was, like, there was a homeless person. I'm like, no, what? There's no homeless person inside the park. And
yeah,
he's
they're
like,
going to pay to be.
Yeah. And he's like, no, I saw. I'm like, what did you see? He's like, I saw a woman. She was like dead, laying on the ground. I'm like, oh, she had heat stroke. Like, it's,
yeah, it was
Six
that. It was
Flags.
that bad.
You don't see that. And so on the way home, I was like, I can't wait to go back to Disneyland.
Yeah.
So
yeah. And it's so beautiful right now when they're in this time of year is my favorite time of year. Like right when football hits, you're like, yes, pumpkin spice everything. I mean, hate it or don't hate it, I don't know. But pumpkin spice everything. This is the time of year where you feel that transition. You feel things stop getting as hot. The light becomes different when the sun sets, and there's pumpkin spice.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful moment. So Disneyland has, like, they decorate accordingly. Pumpkins everywhere. It's so beautiful. They put a lot of work into what they do.
Yeah.
So we love Disneyland.
Yeah, we enjoy it, and our pass is going to end, and then they're doing like this massive expansion. So we'll re-up in like 4 years when they have all this new stuff. But yeah,
maybe 3.
Maybe 3 years. I don't think she can hold out. But yeah, we want to do D23. They did a massive showing all the expansion of all the different add-ons, and it's going to take a while to build this stuff.
Toontown's turning into like a Mickey and Friends or something, and
Splash Mountain's turning into
Princess and the Frog.
And it's going to be it'll be a whole new experience, and we're looking forward to that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, do staycations. And
Staycations.
just stay home and just relax and not do anything.
I can't wait for the next one.
Yeah.
I look forward to it.
Yeah. It's always good to look forward to something for mental health.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking of mental health, we're going to start this show off with our...
Is this relatable?
Yeah.
Oh,
our guest. Yeah, he's really good with mental health. He's into fitness and working out and having a good, positive just energy about yourself, and I agree with him, and we do as well. We try our best to keep those neurons in our brain, strengthen that positive muscle in our thoughts and our brain, and it helps in life as well. So yeah, why don't we?
Yeah, let's introduce our guest.
Yeah, Frankie Marcos, everybody, is going to come over here. So
all right,
you want to?
We'll swappity swap.
Okay. We're back. Here's Frankie Marcos. We met at Akash Winery. He did a show a few years ago with Mike Falzone and Frank Castillo and Renee Vaca, and I think there was a female comedian. I'm trying to remember. Do you remember?
It might have been Irene too, or Logan Gunselman.
I think the first one.
Irene too.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's killing it right now.
Yeah. She had that low key. It was cool. Like, yeah. Anyways, it's good to have you on the
Swagged
show.
out gay vibes. Is what Irene has.
Yeah.
She's killing it.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's very nice to have you on the show, man.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Now, before we get started, for your massage, you get massages more on a regular, correct? Like.
I usually do like every other month or sometimes once a month.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, like an oil change for your car, and it matters on your lifestyle. Like you with fitness. Like I watch your Instagram, and you do a lot of fitness, personal training work.
Yeah, I love training. I train mostly comics right now, but yeah, training has changed my life a lot. Like especially having ADHD and juggling different things, you know, because I do the training and then I run 3 different comedy shows and then I perform and then I do content for social media and then you got to write and you got to book your own shows and then I do acting as well.
Wow.
So with ADHD and juggling all of that stuff, it's like working out helps me a lot and meditating and massages too when I get overwhelmed.
Right,
So,
yeah, calm everything down.
yeah.
Do you have any injuries that I should be aware of for the massage?
No, I just like getting a little bit of right knee pain.
Okay.
I'm 32 now, so. But yeah, just like tightness, like on the right side of my leg and right side of my butt cheek over here. But it's just from driving a lot. Yeah,
Okay.
drove like.
Are you
lift.
one of these like drivers where you have like one arm up the whole time? You lean on the center console.
In my
or are you
20s, yeah.
A door handle
In
guy.
my 20s, I was doing try to lean all cool.
Yeah, you have the wrist hanging from the. Your hand's not even, and you just sort of pull, and you strain the muscle in your back.
Yeah, pull your latissimus dorsi. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got these wings that he pops out. That's how you know he's killing it on stage, his lats, and then he just sort of flies away. He's got he's like a squirrel suit of lats.
Oh my God.
I
No,
can't
yeah.
get the lats. That's hard. I've always tried to.
I can help you get the lats, man.
Yeah,
You
the
can
lat.
do this.
I want the neck. I want that. I want
You want
lats
the
up
Rock's
here.
neck?
Yeah, no more. I want like latissimus dorsi. Sternocleidomastoids, like I just
Hell
want
yeah.
this. I want flared out neck.
Nice, like the Jurassic Park.
Yeah, because I
dinosaur
want
on
to
the
do that.
original one. Yeah.
Go up on stage. These guys, like flexing that. I think that's cool. But to do the
Hell
lats too, that'd be wicked.
Pretty cool. Yeah.
All right.
Definitely.
Have you ever had since you get massages on a regular, have you ever partaked in hot stone?
Yeah, the ones that I go to have been exclusively Asian spots where there's a big language barrier.
Okay.
So I can't really throw no specifics at them.
I would
It's like,
not
you can't
get-
order off the menu, motherfucker. Just tell me what you want. You want combo, head, foot. What do you want?
Okay.
One or the other? You can't specify shit or I'm going to give you a lot of attitude and I'm okay with that.
And they do. I would be concerned that they might burn me if I went and got a hot stone from one of those places. It was all good. Everything.
Yeah,
was fine?
it was fine. There's, yeah, they do the hot stones at the one that I currently go to in Burbank, which is great. But yeah, they've been fine. I like the hot stone.
Cool.
Yeah.
I've mixed into our hot stone cooker jade.
Yeah.
Heated jade. I haven't had another therapist do this before, but I found some jade stones that are flat enough, and it holds the heat a little bit more. The science of jade is still on the fence of how jade is so healing, but it's more spiritual. It's very interesting to look into jade, but
Yeah.
we'll incorporate that and see how you feel.
Sounds
Some
great.
jade
I
hot
feel like I'm
stone.
going to feel Asian when I do jade.
Yeah.
It's their thing.
And then we'll be using CBD from a company called Lazarus. So we'll
Nice.
use CBD oil as well. So,
I'm hyped.
all right, cool. Now let's get you on the table and get to work.
Let's do it. Thank
All
you,
right,
man.
Cool. So let's get to work. I'm going to place this bolster underneath your knees. This is going to help with your lower back. There you go. And just remember, the more relaxed your body is, the deeper we can go. I won't force anything.
Beautiful.
Yeah. I'm going to start with just some head, neck, and shoulder work. And then we'll do the hot stones once we get to your arms.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we were just talking about the what was it, going to Australia, performing. You're doing a gig in January, like a tour or something in Australia?
Yeah, so they have every year they have Perth Fringe, mid-January through mid-February. It's a month-long, shows every night, 30 days straight.
Wow.
And since basically like they come out, like Australia comes out to the shows. So they're super thick. There's a lot of people that show up and a lot of partying happens. And so I'm excited. First time out there. I'll be staying with my boy Joe White.
Okay.
He's a comic from Perth, and he came out to LA. He toured, he did New York, DC, LA, Chicago. And when he came to LA, he stayed with me. Took him to a mansion party. We went to Vegas together. So I tried to take care of him as best as I could.
Do you go to mansion parties often?
No, I had barely went for the first, or it was my second time going.
Wow, a mansion party? Like
Yeah,
what?
some
What?
LA shit.
Yeah, what is that? What is a mansion? What does that qualify a mansion party? Like, how do you know you went from a house party to a mansion party? Is it a castle? Or
It
there's
was a pretty damn big mansion. It was
Okay.
in Pasadena.
okay.
I would have, if I were to guess, probably like 15 rooms or something.
Okay.
It was huge, and the backyard was like, it looked like a park. It was insane.
Like in an estate.
Yeah. It's
Like Meet Joe Black's house, like the house that Anthony Hopkins lives in.
Yeah.
Like a massive estate, like royalty kind of.
precisely.
Okay. There's probably like a giant chessboard that people are playing on in the yard.
That's the vibe. They didn't have that, but that's the vibe. Yeah.
Okay.
Whole outside gym area, basketball court, big old pool, hot tub. Yeah, it looks like you could get married there.
And people are just making connections, like, you know, there's a feeling, it's a magical kind of, like a mansion party. I just think of like Eyes Wide Shut, or like people are wearing robes, and after a certain hour, certain people have to leave, and then it turns into some sort of sacrificial connection party. I don't know, like those rap videos, like with the rooms that there's a room you look in one room and you're like, hell no, I'm not going in there.
Yeah.
And then you move to a different room and you're like, okay, that one's not too weird. I'll hang out, and there's video cameras everywhere to make sure if you do anything, they can use it against you in your career down the road. Is that?
That's a very fair illustration in your mind.
Well, Epstein, I mean.
Yeah.
It's a fair illustration. It's not what it was, but I'm sure there's plenty of those in LA. This one was more like networking.
Yeah.
Mainly, but then they had like a open bar and a DJ. So there's like dancing. There's people just playing basketball. There's people in the industry just talking about whatever. There's like somebody from Netflix, Lionsgate.
Wow.
And I forget what the other one was, but yeah, there's like some bigger people, producers and stuff like that.
And you're like, oh shit, look, there's so and so. Oh my God, do I say anything? Okay, how do I look? How's my breath smell? All right, I'm gonna go over there and talk to him. Wish me luck.
Yeah, I was just sort of just having fun.
Yeah.
And then I ended up talking to a screenwriter and a casting director. But it was interesting because they were like from the hood, so it was like very formal position in Hollywood that
Yeah.
they're in, but at the same time they're like, "Hey, what's so fool?" Like, they sound like fucking homies.
Yeah, they're like throwing dice over in the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, you're like, who's this hood ass? They're like, no, I'm the go-to person, fool. Yeah.
He's spelling out Lionsgate with Seawalk. Like they're like, oh my god, okay.
Chihuahua's gate.
Yeah. Oh, real quick, we forgot to mention Amy, what are you making for us?
Oh, we
after
did
this?
forget to mention that.
Yeah.
So I am making a basically it's like a noodle, like rice noodles vermicelli with bunch of vegetables and peanut sauce. So it's like this peanut sauce.
Sounds Asian.
It is more along the Asian cuisine, yes.
Cool.
Yeah.
Making nut sauce?
You would want that, and that's how you would want to describe it.
Oh, Frank.
That's amazing. What type of veggies are on the squad?
Ooh, okay, so we have some organic red bell pepper, organic cilantro, purple cabbage,
Nice.
and I might put some radish in it, just for the spice. Yeah. And then you don't want avocado.
No avocado.
No avocado.
So yeah,
Sounds great.
now, do you have an allergy to avocado, or you just don't like the taste and the texture?
I just don't like the texture, I think. That sounds super healthy. It sounds like it's going to extend my life by 10 years with one meal.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, you don't like avocado either, right?
I only like guacamole. I don't like avocado. Like, you'll never see me spoon an avocado.
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds weird, but yeah, I wouldn't spoon an avocado in bed either.
Yeah.
Thankfully, I'm not an
Yeah.
avocado.
Yeah. Yeah, Amy's got this like avocado about her. Like, come here, avocado. Yeah. No, it's more like when you cut an avocado and you eat it, it's sort of slimy. Like that's why I don't like. I like watermelon, but I don't like sweet melon or what is the
Bitter melon.
bitter melon, or what's the orange
Cantaloupe?
cantaloupe? Yeah, I don't like cantaloupe. I don't like cucumbers.
No cucumber.
No cucumbers.
That's interesting.
I like cucumbers on my eyes.
Hey.
It's very relaxing. Have you ever
Not
put?
in your mouth.
Nope, I'm not a cucumber. But I like pickles,
I love pickles. Yeah.
and they're the same thing.
Right.
They're not. I mean, they're the same vegetable, but
Right.
I mean, one is in a brine, which is quite different than just eating it plain.
Yeah,
So do you like pickled vegetables?
I'm still learning about that. Like pickled carrots. I think
Yeah.
so. Yeah,
Because if you like pickles, I imagine you would like pickled other vegetables.
I think so.
Do you like vinegar?
Not straight. Like, you know how people have like apple cider vinegar? Like, they'll do like a spoonful of it in the morning to get you going. That's like fear factor for me. I don't like apple cider vinegar.
Pretty intense.
Yeah, it's super intense. It's like we've been programmed to, if it doesn't taste delicious, then it must be bad. But like, it's like now the things that are the best for us are, my brain is like, that's not good, it's not good. But it's like, it is good for me.
Yeah.
I've been brainwashed by sugar and salt and
Yeah, the standard American diet is it teaches our bodies to not like what we really should be eating anyway.
Absolutely.
So you really have to, if you're used to a standard American diet, just to ease into, like, people, for instance, are very fiber deficient. So easing into like eating more fiber, your body wants it. Your body loves it. It'll function better. You just have to like reteach it.
ooh, those are hot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, let's take a little trip back to elementary and middle school. Like, I was eating hot Cheetos and Mountain Dew Code Red and frozen chimichangas on a daily basis.
Oh.
Or if it wasn't that, if that's what we paid for, and then if you weren't paying for that, you get the complimentary prison food, the spaghetti and chocolate milk combo. Like, what kind of cold ass shit is that?
Oh, so that shit's nasty.
No, that's nasty.
Yeah.
What was it? You were drinking like, not quick, but what was, not Ovaltine, what was the, Yoo-hoo. Were you a Yoo-hoo type?
I think it was like a knockoff. I don't know. It was like the one where you like
Yoo-ho?
You gotta push the spout and then pull it, and then there's like little pieces of paper that get inside the milk. It's the worst. This massage is amazing, by the way.
Oh, all right, great, thank you. I was just gonna say before the chocolate milk and the Yoo-hoo, the food when we were kids.
What did you have in elementary school?
What didn't he have? That's really the question.
I was one of those pukey kids. I was so much sugar was in my diet. I was just I thought getting sick was normal, you know. And,
oh my god.
Yeah, I was one of those sick kids. I was a Blockbuster movie, Pizza Hut, McDonald's. In Georgia, it was Chick-fil-A and Checkers burgers and sweet tea and black cherry Kool-Aid and Coca-Cola. And I had migraines all the time. And my doctor told my parents, oh, he just needs to have a little bit of Coca-Cola every day for that caffeine, and that'll help his migraine. So I was just like high on sugar and caffeine, and I acquired caffeine addiction at a young age from all that soda, and yeah, it was rough. Once I hit 30, they say you're in your dirty 30s, and now I understand it's cleaning up the mess from my 20s, or my whole life.
Yeah.
So once I got into my 30s, I started eating cleaner and cleaner, and then when Amy and I got together, it got even more and more cleaner, and trying to go just more raw food these days. But yeah, I don't go near any of the food I ate growing up.
And how many migraines do you have now?
Minimal. Now it's down to 0. I grew up with migraines. That's why I became a massage therapist. So I don't know if I mentioned this in a previous episode, but I went to join the Marines in 2001. Nice. Amy, did I already say this in the previous episode?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I don't remember if you did.
In 2001 summer, I went to join the Marines, and I wanted to be Marine Recon. I wanted to be the best. And I went down and did the testing at MEPS and the ASVAB test. And I passed everything, and I was too honest during my final examination, right before you swear in, and I could hear people swearing in, and the doctor would look over my folder, and he's like, it's still really warm. He's like, oh, you marked headaches. Do you get headaches, son? I'm like, yeah, I get headaches. He's like, do you ever get one on one or the other side of your temples? I'm like, oh yeah, all the time. He's like, oh, that means you get cluster headaches. That's a sign of migraines. Do you get migraines? I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, when did you get the last migraine? I'm like, I don't know, 2 days ago. He's like, you get migraines on a regular? I'm like, uh-huh. He's like, oh, you're not allowed to be in the military. What? You're a liability. I'm like, what? I'm like, you mean all the people in the military, they don't get migraines? He's like, well, they didn't tell us. I was like, so I had to lie. Oh, man, that's what my recruiter told me. You didn't lie about it? Like, oh, man. That's super hot. So I went home. I was depressed. And I didn't know what I was going to do with my life. And my parents told me, well, we're going to go to the jacuzzi store. Why don't you come to the jacuzzi store with us? Get out of the house. I was like, okay. And I go to the jacuzzi store, and I see a picture of someone massaging. I was like, oh, I asked the guy working there, I'm like, is that a real job? He's like, oh yeah, that's massage therapy. I'm like, do they make good money? He's like, yeah, if they work in the right place and they do a good job, for sure. He's like, huh. My mom was a bartender, and she would always make me rub her feet every night when she got home from work.
Yeah.
Slave labor, or child labor.
Yeah.
And so I always had like a knack for it.
Yeah.
So I went and took the first class and was hooked. I was like, oh, dude, this is fun. I went home to my dad. I was like, Dad, I'm going to be a massage therapist. He's like, what are you, gay? I was like, no, what are you talking about? I massage women all day in school and they massage me. It's so cool. I love it.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, no, I went full time ever since. It's been 21 years now.
Nice.
But,
It shows.
oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found out about comedy about like 7 years into massage.
Nice.
And I was so scared to go into comedy because of public speaking. I was nervous about being heckled and then I saw that documentary Jamie Kennedy did called Hecklers. Did you ever see that?
No.
Yeah, it's good. It showed like the science of hecklers, of like how hecklers want attention, or they are supportive hecklers, or you see that you're struggling, so they throw in a little heckle to keep you going. And then there's those hecklers that just want attention. And once I understood that, I was like, oh, all right, I'll give it a try. And once I started doing stand-up, I was hooked. I'm like, dude, this is... But I kept doing massages over the years, and now I'm trying to figure out how to do both.
Yeah.
Comedy and massage together. Oh,
Nice.
yeah.
It's a great combo. Like I said, most of the massages that I go to, all of them, they're all like Asian ones, and so I haven't even been able to like truly express like the gratitude of when I get one. I just say thank you a lot, and they're just like, oh, you're welcome. But now that I can actually have a conversation, it's like, no, like I had mentioned earlier before we started recording, like it's the best money you'll ever spend. Like if you're listening and you haven't got a professional massage, like go now. Like get the fuck off. Like whatever you're doing, go.
Yeah.
It's the best.
Yeah, you have all kinds of... I'm like a Pandora's box of secrets. People want to tell me everything, and I just listen, and I don't... And it's person after person. They tell me all these crazy stories and these things, and at the end of the day, I'm just toast. And I get home, and Amy asks me, how was my day? I'm like, I don't remember half of the stuff people told me. And then we'll be at like Disneyland or something, and all of a sudden I'm like, one time this happened to somebody, and she's like, oh my God, what made you think of that? I'm like, I don't know. But that's a real thing, you know. So yeah, it's interesting, all the stories, and it's a very comfortable environment, and you should be a good listener. And when I massage, I don't like to look. I don't want to be, well, for one, if I'm getting a massage, I don't want to look up and see the therapist like staring at me. That's weird.
Yeah, it's like the barber.
Yeah, right.
You don't make eye contact.
Yeah.
You're lined up.
Dude, I'll get a haircut. It's been a long time since I've had a haircut, but when I would get a haircut, some of them were like, I don't know if they were in prison before or something, but they would sort of talk to me very seductively, you know what I mean? Like just very...
Wait, your barber?
Yeah, my barber would be like, yeah, how's that feel? Like just real...
What the
yeah, and I'm like, oh, that doesn't happen with you?
No, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So that would make sense if they were in prison before, right?
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I haven't had a haircut. Like I don't shave anymore.
I used to get haircuts and then I got trauma.
Yeah.
These barbers.
These barbers are crazy.
I thought that clients would generally, again, it could just be because of the massage that I go to, that they just are quiet the whole time.
No, there's some people, they just start talking.
Chatty Cathy's.
And I just listen.
What would you say out of, in general, of all the clients that you've had, what percentage of them decide to talk, like in
Oh.
general? Like
I'd say,
half?
yeah, 50%.
Okay.
Some people, because it helps them feel they want to know who I am too. They want to, like,
Yeah,
if
who's
I'm just
touching
a
my body?
stranger, yeah, who is this person? So
Ah.
they'll start talking to me, and I listen, and you know that, and they just start talking more. And I think there's like memories in our muscles. So as I'm
Yeah.
working, they just start talking. It's weird. What's really weird is when somebody I'll be talking, and then they'll fall asleep, and then I'll feel them like twitching,
Yeah.
and I know they're out, and I'll continue working, and they'll start snoring, and they'll just be drooling, and they're like so, out cold, and I just keep working, and then they'll start talking again, and they're like, oh, I think I fell asleep for a second. I'm like, dude, this session's over. Like, you were out for an hour. And they're like, what? I didn't even know I was gone. And it happens to me too. I'll get a massage and like you start dreaming, or you'll start twitching, and you're like, oh, did I fall asleep?
Wow.
It's weird, the state of mind during a massage. But now, may I ask, what's your favorite bombing story on stage? Yeah, that you're comfortable, like where you like telling. It's like a campfire story of just a nightmarish
I wouldn't
bomb.
call it my favorite, but I would call it the worst situation. I was doing a set after it was a book fair outdoors. And
How many people?
Well, there was a lot of people at the book fair, but the place where I was performing, quote unquote, there was like a panel of people talking about the environment and global warming and the steps that we need to take, which is great, but not great before comedy. So after like the 5 people in the panel left, there was like 30 people at that time, and then like half of them left. So there was like 15 people left when I went up, and 2 of them were like 12-year-olds, these 12-year-old girls.
Oh.
And so I'm like keeping it clean, and
Your audience was 2 12-year-old girls?
and then like 12 other like adults.
Oh, okay, all right, okay.
But I'm keeping it clean, and it's after talking about global warming and shit. And
Doomsday kind of talk.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then this one of the 12-year-old girls is like, it's like this cute little white girl, and then this like fat Mexican girl. It's like, and the fat Mexican girl starts like talking shit and like heckling. She's like, when are you gonna be funny, or some like just ratchet ass like
12-year-old.
Yeah. So then I just start like clapping back, and I'm like, your parents don't love you. I'm like, you need to learn to shut up. I'm like, I know your friend doesn't even like you. She can barely stand you. And she's like, yeah, she's always talks like this. And I'm like, I told you, you suck. Your life's gonna suck when you grow up. I'm talking all kinds of shit.
To a 12-year-old.
To a 12-year-old girl, yeah. And then on top of that, I'm getting heckled by her. I'm trying to keep it clean and be funny, even though it's weird and awkward. Then, mid-set, they go, over the loudspeaker, they go, there's a missing child. His name is Jordan. He's wearing a white shirt with blue sharks on it. We haven't found him for 2 hours. So if you find Jordan, and then so I'm trying to make that funny. And like, we're gonna find Jordan together, and I'm just being an idiot. And they would just randomly be like, we still haven't found Jordan, like right over my set. There's a missing kid. There's a heckling kid. There's adults not giving a shit, not paying attention.
At a book fair event.
At a book fair, outdoors, there's sunlight, it's hot. Worst situation I've ever been in.
That's crazy. Wow.
Yeah. And they eventually found him, and I was like, we got him! And then we all clapped.
Oh, that's good.
And yeah, and it was a moment of, there was a silver lining there, but yeah, it was pretty bad.
Surprisingly, there's bombing in massage, where I will, pick up a client and I meet them for the first time and I hear their ailments and where they want me to focus, and I'm like, okay, no problem, cool. And then I'll start massaging them, and they'll like flex on me.
What?
And they'll like push back. And I'm like, is everything okay? Yeah, you can go harder. It'll be a woman too. Like, you can go harder. You can't hurt me. I'm like, what? I don't want to hurt you. And they're like, no, you can go way harder. I'm like, well, if you keep flexing, I'm not gonna fight you.
Yeah.
They're like, well, you can just go in there. I'm like, well, just relax. And so we're like arguing about how to relax.
Like an ego massage?
Yeah, and they're pissed. They're mad, or huffing there because I'm not like dropping elbows and like pulling their neck and smashing them into the face. I don't know what they want, but I'm not gonna do that. Like, I'm just keep it chill. I mean, how hard is it to just lay on a table and relax? But there's a lot of people who have a hard time letting go.
Yeah.
They're flexing the whole time.
That is crazy. It seems like it's a universal thing with these types of people who will not let you into their whatever walls they have up.
Yeah.
No matter who it. This is your massage therapist. They're gonna make you feel like you're in heaven, but you still won't let that wall down.
Yeah.
I just played basketball yesterday with this kid. I was at 24 Hour Fitness. We played pickup games. We were playing 3-on-3. And some kid is playing a little bit extra aggressive. Like, okay, that's fine. It happens all the time when you play basketball. But then he starts talking shit. Like, 2 minutes into playing, he's already like, oh, he's like, yeah, get the fuck out of here. Like, you ain't shit. And like pushing and just doing all this stuff. And like, it's the exact same person that you're talking about in the massage.
Yeah.
And he's being super disrespectful. And I'm like, if I was somebody on your caliber of like just disrespect and just being so intrusive, like we would have already thrown hands. Like we would have fought.
Yeah.
You know, like in like 3 minutes of you talking shit. But I'm just so I just like talk shit back to him, but I'm like also communicating like, you don't need to be this disrespectful.
Right.
So I'm like being as aggressive, but also like, yo, you don't have to talk so much shit. And so it's kind of, it gets progressively more heated. And he's like, eventually, of course, as I've, guessed, he's going to be like, yeah, say that shit to my face. And I'm just like, dude, I'll whoop your ass, but I'm not going to. And even if I did, I'd like whoop your ass and I'd shake your hand and be like, now let's dissect the problem together. Like, why did we fight in the first place? How can we prevent this in the future?
You're gonna be a good dad. Yeah. That's what a good dad does.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna spank you, but this is why, and you're gonna appreciate it later. I promise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the exact same person, because like after the game, he was talking like he was sharing like fighting words and all this shit, and he lost, and he's like, yeah, but I've been winning all day, and you're not gonna fucking beat me, and I beat him twice in a row, and then at the end of the game, he's like, all right, man, good game, just like full humility, sound, voice, and then like try to shake my hand, and I looked at him like I shouldn't fucking shake your hand, and then I looked at him again like, okay, I'm gonna shake your hand, but only because you're using this voice now.
Right.
And then we shook hands, and I was like, all right, man, I'll see you later. Whatever, but it's the exact person that you're talking about. And they have so much stuff that they have to, reverse engineer or deal with themselves. Yeah. And they haven't quite done it yet. So they just share all of that with the world. And it's like, man, I really hope you can deal with those problems that are deep-rooted,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes they're like, in the spa realm, I have to be Christopher. I can't be Chris because Chris will be assumed as a female. So sometimes if they think I'm a female, I go pick them up in the tranquility room or the lounge, wherever the spa is, and I'm like, hi, I'm Christopher. I'll be your therapist. And they're like, Oh, no, I can't have a man massage me. Oh my God, I can't do this. I'm like, what do you think's gonna happen? Like, I'm just gonna work on your muscles.
Right.
They're like, no, I can't. And they cry, and I'm like, it's okay.
Have you had somebody literally cry?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
people
my
freak
God.
out, like they can't. There's people who will they get on the table and you'll be working on an area and something they're in their mind and they could be going through trials in life, who knows, and they just start. And I let them. I don't ask like, "Hey, what's wrong with you? Are you all right?" Like I don't. I just keep working, and they're over there. Like,
yeah, like let him make a fool of himself first, and then say it's okay. I'm just gonna touch your muscles.
yeah, it's okay.
Let all that shit out before we talk.
Yeah. There's times where I'll go into a treatment and this is over like 20 years, but like there have been times where I'll go into treatment and I'll start working on their temples right here on next to their eyes.
Yeah.
And I just massage tears into their face. Like they and I'm like I'm not going to be like what's wrong? Why are you crying? Like I'm like, "Oh shit, like they're dealing with something. Oh well, I'll just carry on."
Well, it's like, what can you do?
Right. I'm not gonna.
You can't do anything. Just do what you're supposed to be
I'm here
doing.
to do body work and that's it. And I'll listen to you if you want to tell me stories. That's fine. But
Yeah.
I
mean,
just,
that's great though. I mean, honestly, because that's that conversation that they've been wanting to vent to somebody about, that they're releasing through that instead.
yeah.
So you're really helping them through some type of obstacle or something some weight they've been holding on to.
Yep.
So that's
True.
like you really helping them out on hella levels.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna take this bolster from your knees. There you go. And then I'm gonna hold the sheet, blanket, and have you carefully roll over and scoot up into that face cradle.
Okay, cool.
There you go, sir. There you go.
Cradle.
Yeah, the face cradle up there, and then feel free. Do you want me to raise or lower the face cradle for your neck? Is it comfortable?
I think this is good.
Okay.
Chris,
Yeah.
microphone.
Microphone fell? Oh, okay. Got a microphone. Just clip it right. There you go. All right. Okay, I'm going to place a bolster underneath your ankles for lower back support.
Okay, cool.
There you go.
Thank you.
And then for the stone placement, we're going to place stones on top of a towel. And if they get too warm through the towel, let me know and I'll adjust them.
Okay, thanks.
Now earlier I did turn the stones down so they're not too hot. Wow. All right. Oh, one time when I was a kid, let's see. There's like a burn in this blanket or this towel.
Nice.
When I used to live in Georgia, and I was in a rough area in Georgia, and my mom was hanging out with her friends, and she said, "Why don't you go play some basketball with the kids?" And I was like, "Okay, well I don't know any of them, but all right." So we go to play basketball, and I'm in sixth grade at the time, and I was in the middle of doing a Choi Kwan Do, not Thai but Choi, and it was like an East Coast thing. And so I knew martial arts, and I started shooting hoops with my friends, and there's this white kid bully. He's like a big kid. He was probably in like 8th or 9th grade, and he's with this little black kid, and this kid has half of his face is scarred from a fire, and he's got a white eye.
Gee.
Like he's been through hell. And he's like Tweak from South Park. He's like, yeah, like real squirrely. And I'm playing basketball and I can hear the bully. He's like, "Hey, go take that kid's ball away from him and I'll give you a treat or something." And the kid's like, yeah, I'll go get and he goes, I don't know who these kids are. And they come over, and this kid tries to take the basketball away from me, and And he's shorter than me, and I'm fighting him off. I'm like, dude, leave me alone. I'm trying to play basketball. And he's like, here, and he grabs my shirt, and he's trying to sweep kick me.
Oh my.
And I know what he's trying to do, and he can't get me. And we're in the grass at this point, and he finally pulls me over, and I fall down. And we're rolling around in the grass. I'm just trying to get this kid away from me. I'm scared, and he bites through my waist, through my shirt and my pants, and bites through my flesh. And I'm like screaming, and I pry him off by his forehead, and he's got that one white eye, and there's blood coming out of his mouth.
God.
And that's when I just started wailing on him, started punching him in the face, and he freaks out and lets go of me, and I run back to my mom, and I'm like, Mom, I got bit by this kid with a melted face, and he's got a white eye, and they're like, you're making stuff up. I'm like, no, it happened. And they're like, you probably got bit by a dog. And so they took me to the hospital, and I got a rabies shot in my hip.
Gee.
That's that story. So I don't play basketball anymore.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so when you're telling a basketball story, I'm like, oh.
Young Mike Tyson.
I don't like NBA.
Chris is permanently scarred.
Yeah.
Yeah, NBA stands for no bite attention. That's
Yeah.
I don't like basketball.
Oh my God, Mike Tyson's little brother.
Yeah. I got melted. He's out there. If he's still alive, shout out to kid in Georgia with the charred face and the white eyeball.
Hell
I remember you.
So. You put half his face in a waffle maker?
Yeah, that's probably what happened. His mom was neglecting him, and he wanted a waffle bad.
Yeah. Put half your face in that waffle maker, I'll give you a treat.
Yeah, that's how he gets attention. He's like, Mom, I'm going to put my face in this waffle maker if you don't give me a waffle.
Yeah.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Classic bullies.
Now you do shows in Temecula. It's called what is it?
Let's Be Frank.
What is it? Say again?
Let's Be Frank.
Let's Be Frank Temecula shows. That's super cool. That's where I met you. Was it Let's Be Frank?
At the time, that one was Last by the Glass.
That's cool.
Yeah. Posh winery.
And in your website is gofrankyourself.com, correct?
Yeah.
That's awesome. Very clever. How is the Temecula scene for you? You enjoy the Temecula people versus Burbank people?
Yeah.
Do you notice a difference?
Definitely.
Yeah?
Yeah, Temecula likes to be messed with, and they're like bougie Trumpsters.
Often. Oh, yeah. Very red people.
Yeah, which is fun. I mean, it's hilarious. It's fun. I think they're down with anything, you know. So I don't mind conservative crowds at all. Like, I like them a lot.
Yeah. And you're doing the Shamrock this Tuesday with us.
Hell yeah.
And yeah, they're very red. Where it's going fantastic. I started doing the Pledge of Allegiance to start the show off. To unite the room. Yeah. And they go bananas. They love that.
That's amazing. Again, now you're pledging the tears out of their face. Massage the tears out. Or you
yeah. Cool. And then tonight, you're down to do Adelaide and Old Town Temecula?
Yeah, I would love to.
Oh, yeah. We're going to pop in there after this and do some time there. And yeah, it'll be all relaxed for your stage time.
Yeah, this would be amazing. I definitely want to get more acquainted with the Temecula scene because I know it's a thing, you know, outside of just running my show and then doing your show. I want to see what other type of venues you guys have and just get the feel for the vibe.
Yeah, no, it's an interesting area. We're right at the fork in the road, the 215-15 split, right before you hit San Diego. like southern, like Temecula is the most southern point of Riverside County before you hit San Diego County.
Yeah.
So it's a cool scene. Now, where did you where were you born?
San Jose.
San Jose. That's like that's near like Apple and Google, and that's like the tech capital of the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
Up north, yeah.
Silicon Valley. Yeah.
Silicon Valley.
Yeah,
Every time I heard I'm sure this is a hacky joke, but
It's so
silicone.
hacky,
Or,
yeah.
Silicon
Yeah,
Valley.
Silicon Valley.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I saw all that come in growing up as a kid. You know, we saw Adobe and Apple, Netflix headquarters, Google, all the big boys are there. My mom actually got booted out of her house downtown San Jose by Google.
What?
Yeah, interesting story though, because at the time she was just renting, but they basically said, hey, we're going to do a project that's going to take over this area. And at the time, my mom was like, there's got to be some type of rights that I have, something I could do, you know, in response to this, you know, because the inconvenience and blah, blah, blah. And so she called Google, and initially they had said, no, like, you're fucked. This is what's happening.
Yeah.
But then her coworker was like, no, whoever you talked to was wrong. You definitely have some rights, and there's some whatever things in place.
Yeah.
So she tried calling again, and the second time she called, they said, whoever you talked to, I'm so sorry, they were wrong. It's not, 3 weeks that you have to move out. It's 3 months or whatever, but we're going to take care of you. And long story short, they said, if you are willing to move out in 3 months, we'll give you $75K.
Okay.
And we'll pay for your rent in the meantime while you're getting ready to move.
Okay.
Your rent and utilities. So that was pretty cool.
That is cool. And she was happy with that?
Yeah. She had I told her, you should keep crying and try to get 200K. Like, you should really sell that. Because there was news coverage at the time about the gentrification that was happening because of Google.
Yeah.
So the news was coming over to interview my mom and my stepdad and my brother. And so I'm like, cry, Mom. Like, get more money. So yeah, and my brother was there at the time, living there. And my brother, it's my middle brother. He's the hood one. So he was like, one time they showed up to interview my parents, and my brother was in the car in the driveway rolling a blunt. They're like, is Elizabeth and Martin Pacheco here? And he's like, they ain't home yet, but I'll just be in the car smoking this blunt if you need me. I'm like, my brother's an idiot. It's the middle brother.
So now you get, I can imagine now you turn all of the mics off on all of your Google Homes at your mom's house. Like she doesn't use Google. Is she a Siri or does she use Google products?
No, she does. I mean, I think it's pretty nice to get $75K.
Yeah, that's fun.
And now she lives like not too far away. She lives in Willow Glen now, so it's not too far away from where she was at.
That's cool. San Jose. Yeah. The closest I've been, we passed through San Jose for my first time going up to Napa and Sonoma.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. It's like almost like Colorado. Like I'm from Colorado, and it gets very pine up in Northern California.
Yeah.
Yeah, people tell me I'm supposed to live up in Portland. They're like, you're not from around here.
Yeah.
You need to go up to Portland. You libtard. Get out of here.
That makes sense. I could see you in Portland.
Yeah.
But no, fuck that.
I've never been up to Portland or Seattle. On the West Coast, the farthest north was Napa for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
Seattle's a pretty cool city. I like it.
I just think of like Kurt Cobain and grunge when I hear Seattle.
Yeah, there's pretty heavy depression out there. People buy, like, it's a normal thing for people to buy these crystal lamps that imitate
The sun.
sun rays. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So you already know about that. Yeah, that's like a thing.
I've never seen one. I just know about that. Yeah, the artificial sunlight
Yeah.
to reduce depression.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. It's like, it's cool looking but sad as conceptually, you know?
If I had a comedy club there, I've had those all over the place. They'd be
Yeah.
all over hanging from the ceiling.
Yeah.
Just a bunch of See, what's the opposite of having a artificial sun? You need like an artificial moon or something really depressed. When you have too much sunlight up down here, we need to
Yeah.
mix it up. Something to.
Yeah.
Have you ever performed in New York?
I have 3 times.
That's cool. You flew out there to perform?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, New York is great. I mean, the caliber of talent is pretty wild. The first time I went to New York, I got a DM from a comedian who's my boy now, Roman Suarez, and he was like, "Hey, I love your content. I see that you're young, you're hustling. I would love to get you out here to New York. If you could give me some shows in California, I'll get you some shows out here in New York, and I'll pay for your plane ticket." And I was like, "What? Like,
Wow.
you're a stranger. Like, this is fucking weird." But we talked on the phone for a while, and it was legit. And he followed through. He bought my plane ticket, and I went out there, and we did some shows. His cousin, who's a videographer, he took me all around the city. Like, he took me to 3 different boroughs and showed me all the sights and took pictures. And then, so when he came to California, I was at my parents' house at the time, so he stayed with me at my parents' house the whole trip, and I put him on shows, and we're good friends now.
That's awesome. Huh.
Yeah, so sometimes, you know, the universe kind of gives you some really cool, random-ass opportunities.
Have you ever performed in Alaska?
No, I almost did. There's another comic that told me I should headline there, and he gave me the info, but they like
Anchorage?
I forget where.
Huh.
But have you?
No. I'm intrigued by Alaska. I'd like to go up there.
Yeah.
Did you burn yourself, Amy? Not just a little bit?
I just burned myself a little bit, sorry. If you heard a
Nice.
little bit of screaming inside
yeah.
a chest. That was mine.
I think they should have microphones in the kitchen at every restaurant so you can hear the pain that goes into the food.
Yeah.
No?
Yeah.
Frank says no.
You don't want to hear all the chefs talking shit on the customers.
Yeah. No, I worked
yeah.
at a Pizza Hut as a cook in high school.
Nice.
And yeah, there
Flex.
there were people that would send back a pizza that was perfectly fine. And I'd be like, well, I'm just going to make it the exact same way. And the waitress is like, they can hear you. I'm like, good, let them hear me.
Ha.
Fine, it's going to be the same pizza. And then I'd send it out there, and they were like, this is better. I'm like, whatever. And then I'd take their pizza home and eat it.
Hell yeah.
Did you ever work in the food industry?
Yeah, like 10 years. Yeah, I did all of that. Hosting,
I was really concerned about that.
busing, serving, bartending, all of that.
That's why comedians always shout out to the staff. Like, as long as you worked in the industry, you know that it takes a lot of work to, and especially when you're performing. Like, sometimes the waiter will take an order from the customers that are sitting front row, and you know they're being a little loud, but you have to that they're just trying to do their job, and
Yeah.
and you don't want to interact, but it's distracting. And I bussed tables one day. It was just one time, just to help out a friend at a really busy place in Palm Springs.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, dude, this is brutal work.
Yeah.
I mean, I was in my 30s, but
Yeah.
that's tough.
Yeah, it is. I know this, my boy Jose, I imagine he's like late 40s, but I worked at the SAP Center where the San Jose Sharks play, big arena, and there was this busser, Jose. He would bus in the morning from like 7 a.m. till like 2 p.m., and then he would come into the other job at like 3:30 p.m. to like 9 p.m. or whatever. So he's working doubles.
Ugh.
As a busser,
Yeah.
like that's so much stress on your lower and mid back, like holding that bus tub out in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
And he put both of his kids through private high school busing tables. And like, that dude's a gangster.
Wow.
That's
Yeah.
so dope. But also like, geez, that's a lot.
Now, have you ever been attacked or approached while on stage? Like by customers, like people feel like they can go up on stage and take the mic from you, or have you ever had a run-in like that with some crazy person?
No, but I did have like one time I was closing a show in San Francisco. It was an outdoor show, like toward the tail end of the Pando, and there was two homeless dudes that just kept talking shit and heckling and blowing smoke in audience members' faces and just being
Yeah,
obnoxious.
the terrorists.
Yeah. Yeah, they were just fucking up everything, and audience members were pissed. Like, two dudes were about to fight them, and so I was closing, and I'm watching them do all this, and I just kept telling them, like, yo, please go away, like, please, please, please. And then I do, like, the hand gently on the chest, like, forearm, like, yo, please back up, like, please go this way. And I'm having that argument in my head, like,
Were you
fucking-
hosting? You said?
No, I was headlining.
Oh.
And so I'm watching during the show, they're fucking with everybody. And I'm like, I'm going to have to go up and deal with that. And I'm like, half of my mind is like, just leave it alone. And the other half's like, fuck them up. Like,
Yeah, you're like shadow boxing before you get up on stage,
yeah.
getting ready.
Yeah. And like, yeah, there was two dudes that were literally about to fight them. And they ended up like calling the cops on them. And so during my set, you could see like I just posted that clip like a few days ago, but I was really close to like fighting them too, and I was like, no, just shut up, like just
Wow.
whatever. But then during my set, you could see like the red and blue lights from the cops that they called the cops on them and they picked them up. But then they dropped them off like 2 blocks down, so they just walk right back over to the show.
Really?
They
Yeah.
came back.
Yeah, but
Came back
like
for more.
yeah, some like great riffs came out of it because it was so natural and organic. Of like,
I gotcha.
you know, just talking about the situation without trying to be funny. It just comes out. So a really great clip came out of it, but
That's
it was
good.
yeah, but it was just wild. It's I think that's when we really shine, is when we kind of are backed into a corner as artists, and then you just let
Fight
it
or flight.
flow. Yeah,
Yeah.
without overthinking it.
Yeah, when the adrenaline's through the roof and like your brain's firing on all cylinders, and then all of a sudden your wit, it goes through it's just like high levels of wit,
Yeah.
and like sometimes when you're on fire, like you don't even remember what you said when you get off stage. Well, I mean, I don't. I'm like, I don't know what happened, but it was great.
Yeah. For
Is
sure.
anybody recording that? Please tell me yes.
Right. There's very few moments that I could recall where like there was comedians and they're in such like a weird state that they can't avoid, and it just shined through. Like the night that Trump won, I was at a show and it was Dan Myers, white dude, and then me, and then Kasim Bentley, black dude, and we had to like, he won and then the show started. So my boy Dan Myers goes up and he's like, I'm white, I'm gonna be fine, and we all like big laugh, even though we were all like hella sad in that moment. And then like I, I went up and like I don't know, it was just venting, but it was in the moment and it was real, it was raw, and there were some hilarious moments out of it. And same thing with Kasim, like we were devastated, but we were being so real and funny, and it was like we were killing. And then of course immediately after we're right back to sadness, but but it was great at the time.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and there's, you know, sometimes the sad times or the most challenging time is where you find the humor in it and you find a hit song.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah, I remember the night that, or the last few days of my uncle when he had cancer.
Mm-hmm.
My other uncle was like, he was on the bed at my grandma's house, and my other uncle was like, "Okay, Vince, like, time to flip over. I gotta change you." And my uncle Vince goes, "Kiss my dick."
What?
And it was just hilarious because
Yeah.
like his dying days, he was still funny. Like
Yeah,
he didn't give a shit.
that's cool. How do you feel, sir?
Amazing.
All right. Well, you survived your not so funny massage, and we'll get you off the table and start eating. So
Beautiful.
take a moment.
Cool.
All right.
We're done. We're done cooking.
Yeah.
Done.
Good job.
Love it.
This looks amazing. Frankie, how
Massage.
do you feel?
Yeah.
Hell yeah, I feel like I'm at a spa right now.
Yeah.
And
with lots of lights.
royal treatment over here.
Good.
That's right.
All
Good.
right. And Amy, tell us, what are we about to eat?
So I saw it online where it's like a peanut sauce with vermicelli, cilantro, cabbage, peppers, or red bell pepper, and then I added avocado to ours and sesame seed. So the peanut butter is kind of like a peanut butter sauce, so it's like a peanut butter noodle thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Looks
All good.
wonderful.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Before we start, let's just do a little bringing prayer back to the dinner table with the orange chakra. This is gonna bring like the vibration, and so we all eat and the food, and we're all on the same page, I guess. So it's only for a few seconds. All right.
I could feel that.
Yeah.
It's a nice feeling. So now I was thinking that we should put the food in the bowl and do that. But
Oh,
Yeah.
bottoms up. And these are, I just put out some random crackers. It doesn't really go with the dish. They're actually Norwegian crackers. So, but
That's
if you
great.
want,
a little
dig
crunch.
in. Yeah, a little crunch.
All right.
Sounds
now,
great.
Frankie, we're gonna see you this Tuesday at the Shamrock.
Hell
correct?
yeah.
8 o'clock, free show.
Yep, I'll be
Headlining.
closing. Yeah, I'll be headlining in this robe too. It's my new swag.
That rope's
Nice.
pretty soft.
Features
Yeah.
Joe Beltran, and
Nice.
then tonight he's going to be a special guest spot at Adelaide in Old Town Temecula, 8 o'clock as well. So we're going to wrap this up, get nice food in our stomachs, and then head over there and do some stage time. It'll be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Where else can we catch you other than Australia in January?
I'll be El Paso, Texas next month with Renee Vaca.
Sweet.
Nice.
Super cool. He's so fun.
Arizona with him as well. And then wherever Mikey decides to put me on the road with him as well, he's going to let me feature for him also.
Mike Falzone?
Mikey Winfield.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's going to take me. He has a bunch of different states, so I'll probably do at least a couple different ones with him as well. And then, of course, like, I'll be at the Sounds A Improv. That's my home club next month. October 2nd, and yeah, you know, and then I got my like central shows. I got Solvang actually.
Nice.
I got a show over there.
I want
at,
to do Solvang. That'd be
Yeah,
fun.
I could definitely
Something
put
out.
you on. Yeah.
Fun.
Oh
Yeah,
my
I do it
God.
monthly there, so that's
Solvang's
easy.
my jam. I love
Yeah.
that place.
Great vibes there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. You're a busy guy.
Mhm.
Sorry. Amy, where can we find your artwork or
Artwork?
Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram is Shades of Despair, and my website for my artwork is abyssicreveries.com.
Yeah. We're also rolling out a website, KSF Studios, which will be hopefully
By before the next
the
year.
new year. But yeah, we're working on that
Yep.
as well, and we're expanding and growing. And thank you for watching.
Not so funny, KSF. Remember that. KSF, not so funny.
Yeah.
Remember it. Good.
Yeah, very aggressive after a massage.
Thought you relaxed.
That's
Chris,
how
you
I
need
do
to do a
it.
better job.
Aggressive marketing. That's what you do.
do. So enjoy watching us eat, and thank you for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. So. All right.